Goldie, there you are.
You've been cooped up in that room so long, we feared you might have gotten trapped.
Or perhaps you had a long-term visitor who was occupying your attention?
Hush you.
'Tis the season for snuggling after all.
Here, share some of our blanket and tell us what's going on.
No, nothing so romantic. Dudley had to head back to the States, but I found something else to occupy my attention.
Oh, what's his name?
You're incorrigible tonight.
I do not know what this word is, but I like the stern tone with which you say it.
Does this have anything to do with how much time you've been spending with Gert?
In a way. Since the falling out with her family, she's been very open about their operations. And since she was in charge of moving all of their cargo around, she knows a lot of names and addresses.
And so?
I'm not ready to talk about it. It's less of an idea than the place where an idea is going to grow. I'll let you know if anything starts to sprout. But that's not why I came down. I'm here to talk about the holidays.
Ah, of course. What would you like to know?
Well, you know, what's going to happen? Last year we were forced to spend them apart while we searched for Zinnia.
Ugh, what a dark end of the year that was. I won't even tell you what my Christmas meal consisted of, for fear of spreading sadness.
But we're together now, and I specifically am not letting you out of my sight, my love.
There is no other gaze I would rather be under.
Hey, ladies, no canoodling. I'm still in the room.
Oh yes, sorry. Spirit of the season and all that.
My point was that this is the first Christmas we three are getting to celebrate together. So, what does a swashbuckling holiday really look like? Massive party, epic attack on a villain's lair, dangerous cookie decorating techniques?
Well,
You haven't told her.
with all the excitement, it just hasn't come up.
What haven't you told me?
We don't really celebrate Christmas.
What?
As I was growing up, Christmas was something formal, rigid. Uncomfortable clothes, disgusting food, awful music, and then the gift of a dull book that you were forced to read. I was happy to be done with it.
I don't follow or s'inscrire to any of the religions that make up this mélangé holiday. No offense to Le Père Noël, of course. Now, New Year's Eve, on the other hand.
Wait, stop, hold it. Neither of you celebrate Christmas? What do you do?
We leave.
You leave?
On a trip, we get out of town. Usually to a place with strict rules on privacy and no rules about clothing.
What about the society?
We make sure everyone here is taken care of and then call in one of our friends to maintain order while we're gone.
Getting someone to take a holiday trip to the south of France is not a difficult proposition to make.
But the carols, the presents.
The dogma, the materialism.
Oh, stop you. Goldie, we're not anti-Christmas. We've attended our fair share of holiday parties. We've just would prefer to move out of the way and let people celebrate how they like.
Has it always been this way?
Pretty much. Well, there was that one time.
What time? Tell me about the time.
Me as well. What are you referring to?
It was our first Christmas in Massalia, and we did have a reason to celebrate.
Ah, yes, now I know. But, if you recall, in this scenic seaside city is not where the story begins.
That's right. It was much further north and a good deal colder.
Story time!
When When you said we were going to Switzerland, this is not what I envisioned.
What do you mean? Look at that view! The moonlight shining over the Matterhorn, the snow glistening on the trees.
The undead soldiers of Dryson Orte trying to kill us.
Yes. What were you expecting?
A small chalet, a warm duvet, plenty of hot chocolate on the stove.
That sounds like the beginning of a song, but it would sound much more romantic in French, yes?
More than German, that's for sure.
You take that, mein Herr! Tell your boss that the Roman Empire should stay dead.
At last.
My love, you don't seem to be enjoying the Swiss air.
I guess I'm not.
When I learned of this invasion...
It's not that. Of course we can assist Helvetia in protecting her country. I don't want to see the Eidgenossenschaft overturned. I'm just tired.
You've grown tired? Of me?
No, not that. Zinnia, we've known each other almost 2 years now. You've gone from my teacher to my friend, to my lover, to whatever we are now. There's no one I want to be with more than you.
I feel the same way. Before you, I believed monogamy was something that happened to other people.
But we've been all over the world, from Bora Bora to Argentina, Hong Kong to the Cape of Good Hope.
I do need to follow up with Adamada Master and make sure he still controls the Seven Thunders.
Good thinking. But I'm weary of the vagabond lifestyle. Could we find a place to hunker down, maybe just until spring?
I had hoped to visit the St. Nicholas Cossack Cathedral in Omsk. Appropriate for this time of year.
Siberia? I was hoping for someplace warmer.
Well, perhaps. No, you wouldn't like it there.
Where?
It is. I recently received a letter from my mother.
You want me to meet your mother?
No, I mean, yes, eventually.
You don't think you're ready?
No, no, I don't think she is ready. She wrote to tell me that she's giving me a piece of property. I was planning on selling it, but perhaps it is what you are describing.
Your mother gave you a house?
Not exactly. It is one of many estates she owns. She's offering it to me first because of its history.
What history?
We moved around when I was young, but this place is where we stayed the longest.
How long?
Almost 2 years. It was a quiet town, but perfect for a curious girl who had the lust for wandering.
Wanderlust. Something, it seems, from which you've never recovered.
She writes that the place is, it's un peu de bordel, but still livable, and it would only be us there.
Sounds perfect. Where is it?
The south of France, along the bay, in Marseille, although they've recently changed the name back to the older sobriquet.
Even old New York was once New Amsterdam. What is it called now?
Massalia. How did we ever gather so much luggage?
And laughs at the whole world's blame. That's a good line.
Saffron?
Hmm?
I said, are you reading that script of papier again? What is it that has you so fascinated?
Oh, it's nothing. Just something I've been... Never mind. So this is the place where little Zinnia had her earliest adventures. Fighting pirates and chasing dragons.
It is true. Seems much smaller than I remember.
Smaller? There must be a dozen rooms in this place.
17 actually, not in counting the salons and ballroom.
It has a ballroom?
Oui, but it's quite small. I used it as my own dance studio.
This is where you learn to dance.
In part, yes.
Oh, it's quite lovely.
I suppose so.
Zinnia, what's wrong? I thought you had happy childhood memories here. But now I fear I've taken you someplace filled with despair.
It's not that sweet, Saffron. I do have many happy memories, but now, standing here, I'm reminded of how many of them were alone. My mother always gone. I knew no one in the area. Yes, I battled the rogue samurai and the fierce griffins, but always toute seule.
You're not alone anymore.
And like that, my heart is filled again. Ghosts of the past year out, scattered by their radiant beauty. But you are right. The building has held up remarkably well. I'm anxious to explore.
Is there furniture inside?
Oui, fully furnished. I'm afraid my mother's style is quite eclectic. Each room is furnished in a different style.
So each room has a different bed,
Ah, exactement.
which means we might need to try several before we pick the one we like best.
Sadly, it might take many attempts.
I think we'd best get started then. Don't you?
Excuse me, madams, but is this the home of Lady Paulina?
Ugh, another of my mother's nom de guerre. Yes, but I'm afraid the lady of the house isn't in.
Oh dear. Oh no. Oh my.
Is there something we can do to assist you?
Maybe. Well, perhaps. My name is Abby, and this is my daughter Jacqueline.
Hello, Abby. Good afternoon, Jacqueline.
She doesn't, well, she hasn't spoken since. I'm sorry, do you know when Lady Paulina will return?
I'm not entirely sure.
It's just, she once told me if I needed to, I would be allowed to stay. That I could come for an extended visit, and my circumstances have suddenly changed, and...
My name is Zinnia, and I am currently the lady of the house.
Oh no. Oh dear.
And we welcome you to come inside and take your rest.
We do? Are you sure? We don't know what kind of situation we are involving ourselves in.
If it comes down to a crying woman versus anything else in this world, I think you know where my loyalties instinctively lie. Plus, there's a group of men moving towards us.
I like the look of them least of all. Sweet ladies, you are my guests. Come this way if you please.
My apologies, I didn't mean to intrude.
Not at all. It's why I brought 3 cups.
Allow me to be mother. Did you get Jacqueline all settled?
I did. I worried she'd be too tense, but she fell asleep as soon as her head hit the pillow. We'll be on our way in the morning.
Absurdité. You will stay as long as you need. This house is far too large for the 2 of us.
Oh, thank you so much. I don't know what to say.
Say that you know your way to market. There's barely a scrap of food in the larder.
I don't mean to pry, but
Why did I show up at your house unannounced in fear for my life?
You don't owe us any explanation.
No, I do. You've been so kind to me, and I'm not sure what will happen next.
drink your tea and then tell us your tale.
Thank you. My husband, or I should say, my soon-to-be ex-husband's name is the Viscount Visco.
I'm afraid we haven't had the pleasure. We've only just arrived.
You really don't know him if you think it'd be a pleasure, and we're not from Massalia either.
What brought you to town?
Business. His business. I can't exactly say what it is, as he keeps those things private. He's a lawyer, you see, but I know it's about acquiring some real estate for a wealthy developer.
And what happened?
I'd been planning on leaving him for months, but when you're involved with a lawyer, these things can't be done on a whim. I have my daughter to think about, and my husband is not a kind man. Our exit needed to be legally sanctioned and ironclad.
Today you got the letter.
I did. A friend from his firm had drawn up the papers, all fair, equitable, rational.
But your husband was none of the above.
No. He demanded I call it off. He threatened me, and then he threatened our daughter. So I knew I had to go.
What happened to the papers?
Well, he still has them. Unsigned, I'm sure.
Likely thrown into the fire by now.
Oh, no, never. He'd never willingly damage a legal document. I've often thought the law is the only thing he really respects.
What will you do now?
I don't know. My only thought was to get out, get free. I'm not sure what happens next.
These are all matters to be thought of in the sunshine. Drink deep, breathe, and know that for now, you and your child are safe here.
Oh, thank you. For now, that's the best news I could hear. I'm gonna go and check on Jacqueline.
Good night, Abby. I know that look.
What look?
I'm planning on doing something audacious, but I'm working on the angles so I can escape from it without dying look.
That is a very specific look.
Zinnia, we just got into town.
And trouble landed in our laps.
But this has the potential for a huge disaster, an international incident.
And I say, if you are going to have an incident, why not make it international?
What are you thinking?
We go and have a chat with this Vicomte.
With masks on?
We must dress for the occasion, no?
Zinnia.
What would you have us do? Turn her away? Let the law have its way? When has the law given women and children a fair shake, huh? And quite frankly, I'm surprised at your reluctance.
Sorry, I missed that last part. I was going through the luggage to find the swords.
But what was all this "I know that look" nonsense?
I just wanted to make sure you knew how big of a problem we're about to make.
How long have you been planning to pay this man a visit?
Since we met her on the street.
Ah, sweet Saffron.
We're new in town. It's only polite to go and meet the neighbors.
And it would be rude not to bring a gift.
Ipso facto, matter is, malum prohibitum not. In point of fact, malum in se. See you in court. There, let's see what your so-called hospital thinks of that. Who's there? I don't need anything right now, but you can take that tray. I'm finished with it.
We are not your serving girls.
I see. Well, I'm not interested in female companionship this evening. Try back again tomorrow.
And we are definitely not here for that.
Then kindly step into the light. Masks, swords. It's to be business then. My normal hours are 8 to 6.
While we do our best work under the moonlight, I am Mademoiselle Liberté, and this is Mademoiselle Égalité.
We're here on behalf of Abby.
Are you now? She couldn't afford a lawyer of my caliber or even a decent thug to strong on me, so she ran to the nearest masquerade ball and found the first 2 suckers she could wrangle.
Ah, you're just as charming as she advertised. Even warming yourself by this fire won't help your cold heart.
It is simple. You send the papers, give them to us, and we all go on our merry ways.
And should I refuse?
Don't.
Your own guards have been dealt with already.
You mean you
They'll wake up with splitting headaches.
and unemployed and blackballed? So, you've got some sort of morality code, which means I need not fear for my life. Noted.
Just do what's right, and we can be out of your life.
Oh now, dear girl. You really need to learn how negotiations work. You've already told me death is off the table, so now it's up to me to determine how mean you will be. This isn't the time for the soft appeal.
Then how about this? I know you can practice law without toes, even without feet. I wonder how high up we need to go before your livelihood is affected.
Now that's much better, and I can see you're committed to this. The divorce papers are locked up tight in my safe.
And what is the combination?
Not so fast. You entered this battlefield without having done the reading.
What's that supposed to mean?
In a legal battle, everything matters, including appearances. That's one of the reasons that I kept Abby around, and even had a child with her. The look of the thing.
Did you just call your child a thing?
Believe me, I've said worse. But a single childless lawyer at my age, it doesn't look good. Show someone you can be loved and they'll trust you. Same goes for those you employ.
Stand ready, Liberté. I don't know where this is going, but it's nowhere good.
Those guards, you assume they were there to protect me. Au contraire. I represent very high-profile clients, and going out and about without security just wouldn't look right. But I can assure you, I'm more than capable of defending myself.
What was that? Something flew past me.
I'm not sure.
Liberté, you're bleeding.
I am? I feel it now.
It looks like a...
Paper cut. How about that? You know what they say about lawyers? Make one mad and they'll bury you in paper.
Quick, get behind the table.
How is he doing this?
He seems to be able to propel the papers at frightening speed.
He's well armed behind that desk.
So we split up, attack from opposite directions.
Then, later tonight, we take turns playing nursemaid to each other, tenderly kissing our wounds.
The way your mind works astounds me.
And I hope it always will. Shall we?
Non bis in idem.
That's right, you are in double jeopardy.
Unfortunately for you, I can handle two cases at once. For I'm more than ambidextrous, I'm ambidangerous.
It's not working.
As soon as I cut through one sheet, another has quickly taken its place.
Here, take my sword.
Better, but I'm still only maintaining no progress, Ned.
Throw yourselves on the mercy of the court. It's the only way you'll survive.
You won't be throwing this case out. Liberté, get to cover.
That column won't keep you safe for long.
We need a new strategy.
I have one.
Don't keep me in suspense.
How do I tell you without him overhearing?
Fiat justitia et perit mundus.
Fiat justitia ruat caelum.
I have it! That poem on the slip of paper you've been reading over and over. The one with Ella Wheeler Wilcox.
You know about that?
Of course! It starts. I love your lips when they're wet with wine and red with a wild desire.
I love your eyes when the love light lies lit with a passionate fire.
Oui, exactement.
Viscount in germimus nocte et consumere igni.
No, my papers, my books.
What did you say to him?
An old Latin palindrome. We enter the circle at night and are consumed by fire. It's about moths. Not wildly appropriate, but it's what came to mind. About the poem,
Later. We have a denouement to get to.
I have to save them, protect them.
if only you had such devotion to your family.
New negotiating position. Sign the papers, or we hold you in place while you watch these burn.
Or we staunch the flames and you recover what you can. The choice is yours.
You have your victory, but I'll make sure it's a Pyrrhic one. I'll never sign them. She'll never be free of me. I'll use every legal loophole I can find to make their lives a living hell until they come back to me. And there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Then it's back to plan A.
Maybe not. If there's one thing a lawyer will listen to, it's a better argument.
You cannot change my mind.
Let's say that your wife and child are dead.
What?
I'm listening.
A terrible fire, an unthinkable tragedy, leaving you a widower, mourning their loss. Certainly the appearance of that would be better than the miserable husband.
I have always looked good in black.
Abby and Jacqueline go off into new lives with new names. You leave the city in despair and never return.
It would be far too painful to walk these streets again, knowing what you lost.
I can sell that. You have a devious mind, mademoiselle.
Only when I need to, Viscount. I pity you that you live your life inside of one. Do we have an agreement?
For your peace of mind, I'll keep the funeral certificates if you don't mind.
Very well. Now, leave Massalia and never return.
Gladly. What the six of them want with this place is beyond me.
What was that?
Never you mind. Functus officio. Cult is adjourned.
So, that's it? We just change our names and we never have to see him again?
That's the agreement. In effect, your old lives are dead. What you do in your new lives is up to you.
I don't know how to thank you.
The happiness of you and Jacqueline is payment enough.
And perhaps one more thing.
Zinnia?
Stay with us here. This house has been without the laughter of a child for too long. I know you must make plans, arrangements. This house will be your chrysalis, and you will fly when you are ready.
We'd like that. I need to tell Jacqueline. Thank you, ladies.
Well,
Well, what?
how do you feel?
The truth?
Always.
Better than I have in months. Not that.
No more, I could not agree more. I've loved our adventures.
But this one, helping someone get their life back.
It was more fulfilling.
I want more.
As do I. I was thinking we could stay here, perhaps open our doors to help others.
Not that. I mean, I want that too. But that's not what I mean.
Saffron, I don't know what you're talking about.
The poem.
Ah, the great mystery.
I was working on an idea, trying to come up with something, but I couldn't say it better than she did.
Você what?
The poem ends like this. So kiss my sweet with your warm wet mouth, still fragrant with ruby wine, and say with a fervor born of the south that your body and soul are mine. Clasp me close in your warm young arms while the pale stars shine above, and we'll live our whole young lives away in the joys of a living love.
Oh, it's lovely.
Marry me.
What?
That's what I've been trying to say. The poem was for inspiration. I wanted to write something, make a big event of it, but I can't wait anymore. I want to marry you. Zinnia, will you marry me?
You and I, united against the world. How could I say no? Of course I will marry you, sweet Saffron.
This is your engagement story? You sly devils.
It is. So yes, your Christmas time is very special to me, but not for the same reasons.
Then it turned out that Abby was secretly a nun and married you two on the spot.
If only.
Sadly, that was not the case. Plus, it wouldn't be proper.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
After an engagement, it's customary to wait at least 6 months before you get married.
How long did you wait?
6 months and 1 day.
I'm still processing this. So, Saffron, you proposed to Zinnia. That's totally not how I thought that would go.
I did. She's who I want to spend the rest of my life with.
And you still feel this way, years later?
Of course.
Excellent. Then I'm going to say it was a good decision.
That was the start of the Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society?
The beginning, yes, but it grew and changed into what you know it as now. It wasn't like everything in our lives was set and decided in one eventful day.
That is not how the life works, thank goodness.
Plus, it'd be a bad story.
Which should be a cardinal sin.
I'm sorry this tale did not have toys making elves or perfectly timed snow in it.
It's not much of a Christmas tale.
No, I guess not. But celebrating the holidays is about being together with the ones you love and sharing that love with those you meet. That's what your story was about. And that's what we're doing now.
Aw, you turn into a giant marshmallow at this time of year, don't you?
I guess. So, about the 6th.
I will tell you what I told Abby and so many who have followed her through these doors. Troubles are for the sunshine. For now, we rest. We enjoy each other's company, and we leave tomorrow's problems for tomorrow.
It's been quite a year, but I can say there's no place I'd rather be at the turn of the calendar than with you two. I love you, Zinnia.
And I love you, Saffron.
Oh, I love you gals so much.
Now, after all that tale spinning, I'm heading to bed.
Ah, but it is so early.
I did not say I was going to sleep.
Ah, then I think I will head in the same direction. Good night, Goldie.
Good night. Man, I'm glad my room's on the other side of the building. I don't think it's gonna be a silent night tonight.
And thus concludes another Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society Holiday Swordtacular. We here at the Monday Matinee wish you and yours a wonderful holiday. Whatever you celebrate, may you have the same kind of love and friendship as our dear Swashbuckling ladies. Monday Matinee's Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society is written by Kyle Olson, performed by Amy Shaw, Anastasia Anthony Plum, Kara Gallo, Justin Kent, and Chrissy Lenz. Directed by Kyle Olson, produced by Ryan Fitzpatrick and Ox and Hare Entertainment. Follow us on Twitter at oxandhair. Check out our Facebook page or come by our website, oxandhair.com, where we've got a couple of sword-swinging ladies, a filmmaker under siege, and a group of adventurers on a doomed quest. Just not all at once. Come along.